OCB Real Talk. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bombshell.
Welcome on. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
We're going to be talking about a lot of things on the show, but if you can just go in on first and how you got into your music and your battling.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go with battling first because that's kind of more straightforward. I've been watching battles and stuff probably only since I think it was end of 2011. Yeah. And I just kind of gotten friendly with a few people in the scene, and it was one of those things where I kept watching it thinking, I could probably do that. And I was chatting with Ricky Wiley, sort of middle of 2012, and he basically just said, well, you said you want to do a rap battle, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, sure, okay, because he was setting up a charity thing. And I kind of assumed he was going to set me up with just a complete newbie, how tryouts normally work out. And he rang me one day and went, yeah, so I've set you up against Sprongy. And I was like, fuck. But that went well. I beat Sprongy. That video is out there. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. So I kind of went on from there, basically. So, yeah.
And the music?
Music, yeah, I've done stuff kind of creatively with words for a lot longer than I've done anything with music, because I've done a lot of spoken word stuff. I've done quite a bit of writing and like stand-up comedy and stuff. So I've always enjoyed kind of doing things with language. But I got to the point only really about 5 years ago where I kind of went, I want to be able to write music as easily as I can write down words. I mean, when you've got words in your head, you can remember them, scribble them down, put them in your phone, but I didn't know how the fuck to do that kind of thing with music. So yeah, relatively speaking, I've not been doing it that long, but I kind of found I had a knack for it, and I kind of literally gave up the day job and did a course, and then kind of got more professional work after I finished the course doing music. And yeah, so I've had various projects, either with doing collaborations with other musicians. I've done really, really huge kind of theatrical, spectacular, massive stuff. And now I've kind of narrowed it down to doing more solo stuff with the odd collaboration because I've moved cities as well. So, yeah, I've got quite a lot that I want to get released this year. I've kind of written probably 2.5 albums worth now. So I need to kind of start actually getting that down and getting that out there. So yeah.
All right, cool. So you've already had, like, there is quite a lot of battle footage of you out there.
Yes.
Biggest name that you could say you sort of scouted is Big J. You beat Big J on KOTR already.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And we're moving on to the Britain's last card.
Yeah.
Which is a good card. It's a good card.
Yeah.
We're gonna start on the from the bottom and work our way up.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you've been at the street events, so you should know a little bit more about these guys. I remember you saying that you went into the street events.
Yeah, yeah.
So DL versus JTC.
That's going to be interesting. They're both pretty strong from different kind of perspectives. They're quite style-wise, they're quite different. But I've seen them. Obviously, I've battled DL and I've seen JTC battle quite a few times. So I think unless there's any sort of particular bias towards one of their styles more than the other, I think it's going to be quite a close battle. It's going to be an interesting one.
Okay. JB and Deafening?
I saw these guys in the street battles about a month ago now. Again, bit of a contrast with styles. JB kind of reminds me a bit of JTC and Cray and people like that, whereas Deafening, he's got more of that ever so slight sort of grime edge, kind of quite fast pace, decent flow. So I think, again, I hate judging as well. So this is why I don't do things where I kind of go, it's going to be this guy, this guy, this guy. Yeah,
Well, no, you're giving your honest opinion. That's the thing. Even with what you've already said, you've already given your honest opinion.
Yeah, I think.
It's more than,
Yeah, basically, it would be a hard one to judge. I think. I think if. Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't want to call that one.
You're gonna have to see it. You're gonna have to see it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to see it. I mean, that's why people have got to come down. And there's a great atmosphere at street events as well. I mean, when it's not up yet, but mine and DL's battle, we had there was like a biker meet going on next to where we were, and so we had all these people that were like kind of rocked up like fucking Sons of Anarchy, just came around and like stood and watched our battle as well. So nice. That kind of adds that element of you don't really know what's going to happen when it's going on. So yeah, after we told them to shut the fuck up with the motors and shit like that, because that was kind of loud. But yeah.
Moving on, we move on to your battle with Bard.
Yes.
Now we've already seen Bard's already done his real talk, and I've already spoken to Bard. So what's your reply to Bard? As such, I guess.
Well, this is quite funny because we started kind of roughly the same time. I think he's probably, out of the two of us, he's probably a bit more well known. He's had maybe a few more slightly more high profile battles, league wise anyway. Whereas I think I've had some big names. Just in terms of who I've been up against, I've been up against, like, Chronicle was my 4th battle, which not a lot of people know. But yeah, and we've kind of back and forth about battling each other, like, jokily for like 2 years now. So now it's actually on the cards. Yeah, and we're quite good mates. So. Are we still going to be mates after we battle? I don't know. It depends. I've got a lot of stuff on you, so it depends what I use, doesn't it?
Cool. Bowski versus Frequent Thought.
Yeah. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know Frequent Thought stuff as well as Bowski's. I mean, Bowski's obviously absolute veteran.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
So, but we kind of know. Unless he decides to massively change up his style, we've kind of got an idea of where his strengths are and the kind of stuff he can bring. Whereas Frequent Thought, just from what I've seen, yeah, he's got like a hard edge to his stuff as well. Shit, man. I want to put in a wild card and say I think Frequent Thought may have a little bit of an edge. Bowski's gonna just swear at me a lot when I see him for saying this, but I just in terms of kind of bringing something a little bit different, I think I'd take a gamble on Frequent Thought and see what he brings.
Okay. Soul Jitsu versus Conquer B.
Yeah, man. I like both their styles. I think Conquer B's kind of is a little bit more in the area of the stuff that I do, and Soul Jitsu's stuff he's one of those opponents where you do get a little bit nervous going up against them because he can be quite serious on stage. I think in terms of just what I've seen them both do so far, I think Soul Jitsu will edge it, but I think Conquer B will bring some really interesting stuff as well.
All right. Big J versus Max Sherry.
This is going to be a funny one. Honestly, I think Big J is going to take it. Max Sherry has got a way to develop in terms of his confidence, but I know he's got some decent bars in there. He could give Big J a run for his money if he just kind of knuckles down and gets into his flow and stuff like that, but I just think no pun intended, Big J is the heavyweight here and will probably knock him flat. Sorry, Mac.
Alright, AMC versus Cracker. Main event.
Yeah. I would be probably placing my bets on Cracker. To be fair, on EMC, I don't know his stuff as well, but I just think sort of consistency and experience, I think Cracker is going to take that one.
Alright, cool. Well, that's the whole card gone through.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else that you want to promote or anything you want to talk about?
Well, there's shitloads, man. So I've got obviously I've got a lot of stuff that I'm working on at the moment, which I guess I haven't really said that much about, other than that I'm doing it. Anybody who has heard my stuff knows that I have quite a range of different styles that I kind of take stuff from, but I've got a lot more sort of drum and bass and kind of heavy sort of bass music, electronica stuff in the works, which I'm really happy with the way it's sounding at the moment. So there is definitely going to be a lot of that coming out. There's also kind of bringing in a bit more of the kind of hip hop style, which I think I've been a little bit tentative with, because it's not something I've kind of been known for other than rap battles, but I've just thought, fuck it, you know, I've got a lot of bars and I want to get it out there on top of my beats, so I'm just going to go for it. And so I'm going to be performing at a lot of like open mics and little events and stuff over the next couple of months, but I will start putting stuff up online, and I've got music videos in Pipeworks as well. So yes.
So obviously follow the Twitter, which is I am Bombshell.
Yes. Reverb Nation, I think, is Bombshell 7, which is a bit whack. But hey, all the other ones tend to be Bombshell Molotov, which I might just stick with for everything else, because Bombshell's not unusual enough, really. So yeah, Bandcamp is Bombshell Molotov. I think Music Glue is as well. But yeah, through my kind of distributor, whichever one I decide on, might go with the same one as before, don't know. It will be on iTunes and Spotify as well, so that should make it super easy to find.
Alright, cool. Have you got any shout outs you want to do?
Yeah, I'll shout out, I'll be super geeky, but I don't care because I'm a massive geek. I'm going to shout out the people on the Music Mind Brain course at Goldsmiths, because we all fucking love music and fucking with people's brains as well, and that's kind of what I do. So, legally speaking, once it's passed the ethics committee, so yeah, shout out Music Mind Brain at Goldsmiths.
Okay.
He's like, who the fuck is that posse?
Yeah, exactly, that's something that I've never heard of, to be fair.
We're scientists who do stuff with music, or musicians that do shit with science. Both.
Whichever way you want to look at it, I guess.
Yes.
What a wide variety of people you're trying to appeal with there, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, this is real talk. We've gone through everything. You've done your shout outs. That is it. This has been Real Talk with the first lady ever on the show.
Hi.
Bombshell. And we're out.